psyche and the energy of Tyler Robinson. Right, now the first thing I'm seeing with Tyler Robinson is that potentially the reason he didn't take his own life is perhaps he was going to do somebody else. He was going to plan someone else's demise. Perhaps he had a list of targets that he was going to, he feel that it was his path to take him out. Epstein, more revelations of that coming out, which is going to lead to, that's not stopping, that's a continual flow of exposure. It's the exposure train. There's more documents, there's more political leaders involved. Hello, my darlings. How are you today? You find me again chilling in my PJs. I'm pacing at the moment. I'm having to pack for G6. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Some of the people that are going to be speaking, I'm so excited to meet them. I got that stargaze thing going on in my eyeballs. So please find me as I am. Also, just interest for those that deal with chronic illness, chronic fatigue, chronic pain. I'm just going to give you a little update. I've just started the Visible app with the armband that registers your whole system and alerts you if you're overdoing it. It helps you to pace and manage your condition. I'll give you an update on this as I go. I've only had it on for 2 days, but if it's worth it, I'm going to go and approach the company and see if I can get some sort of deal for you, because it's not cheap. It works out around, most of it about $300 American, and I think it's about 270, something like that, English pounds. So I'm going to see if I can try and get us a deal. I'm going to see if it works first and if it's really good. So far, I have to say, it's really impressive. But I just thought I would do that little update, because if it helps, obviously, I want to share it with you. So, darlings, today I'm going to do a little bit of automatic writing. As I say, I'm taking it easy because I've got a huge week ahead of me and I have to be really, really careful with my energy. So I'll see how much they'll let me do. The first thing that I'm going to talk about, which has already been brought up in my consciousness when I linked up, is the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk. And they've brought up the psyche and the energy of Tyler Robinson. Now, so many mediums, I bet, will agree when I say you could kick yourself when you've seen something random. In one of my last prediction videos, I kept seeing the name Robinson. And I was trying to work out why I was seeing it. And I added Crusoe to it because I thought it's the only Robinson I know. And so I really didn't know what I was seeing. I wished I'd just sat for a bit longer now and delved into that surname to see why it was brought up. But I most probably added the Crusoe thing to it so I could kick myself for that. But then what would you do? You know, at the end of the day, who would listen to me if I did say? This is the thing, lots of people, you know, say to me, oh God, but you should have told them this, you should have warned them this, you should have said that, like, you know, the airplane crashes and God knows what. And I try my best, but they won't listen to us. They won't listen to us. The times I've phoned on murder investigations, you can just hear the energy in the person's voice, you know, in the inquiry team. I'm like, so I think the reason why this takes place, these predictions, and why I've been pushed into this element of my work, is because by them showing you that they know what's coming and what's coming to pass, the other stuff that I give you in respect of, you know, updates on humanity and messages that they need to bring you are just as valid as the predictions. I have no idea why they have asked me to do this, but I trust it implicitly. And I know that it brings a lot of comfort to people, but it also helps us to navigate what's going on in the world at the moment and what's happening with all of these shifts that are taking place. It's a rocky ride and we've got to hold on. It's very much like a roller coaster. We've got to strap ourselves in and just see the bigger picture, you know. So Tyler Robinson, I'm going to call this section, do you know what, because do you know I used to call it Celebrity Snoop. He's not a celebrity at all, and I don't really like that word anyway. So I do, some of you may know, I do Psychic Detective on in a magazine, Take a Break, monthly column. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to call this segment Psychic Detective. So anything that may be of interest to you, I'll have a little dive into and see if they want me to discuss it, embrace it, get consciousness and information on it or not. So let's give it a go. So I'm going to write his... Right, now the first thing I'm seeing with Tyler Robinson is that, do you know Summer of Sam where he said that God told him to do it? There is an element of some form, I don't know if there's a schizophrenic thing going on here, or there's a feeling that he felt that it was his duty to do this. There feels like a bit of mental health going on there. It was held very well though. But this, I feel this is the dangers of how people embrace online social media and propaganda. Because everything, and I don't know a lot about what Charlie Kirk stood for, as you know, I don't know a lot about, you know, people that speak out and what their remits are, but I feel that everything that Charlie Kirk stood for, Tyler Robinson was completely opposed to, and it enraged him. I feel his psyche would be, do you know these people that just add hate and want to have their say but nobody's listening to them, like a troll or someone that wants to just add anger, vitriol? I feel like I've got that going on, and it was getting to a bubbling point. I feel this was completely planned. I feel he knew that he was going to do this. I don't know if there was any sexual or he felt that there was some sort of prejudice against people he knew or what he stood for, but the hate continued to escalate, particularly for this person. Now, sometimes when we had the attempted assassination, I felt there was something deeper than that with the shooter of Trump. But I feel that there's no... I know sometimes people say, oh, there was government involved in this and it was a patsy or whatever. I don't feel that. I feel that this was all boiling up in his mind. He was full of anger and rage. But I feel on the outside, he would have hidden that rather well, which most people that have that propensity do. When I was detective, I've interviewed murderers, kidnappers, paedophiles, and you just think, on the outside, you just wouldn't even know it. You know, you just wouldn't even know it. They're very pleasant, very polite, but then that's who they should be. If they walked around like acting like a monster, then they wouldn't last very long, would they? Do you know what I mean? So this is definitely a lot of mental health and social media propaganda that has fed his inner rage. And as I say, for some reason, Charlie Kirk, what he stood for and what he spoke out against was almost felt like a violation to everything that Robinson believed in. He literally felt like he was getting a personal he was getting personal insults. He was getting like a personal assassination, you know, sorry to use that word, of himself. You know, it feels like the rage is just monumental. I feel that potentially, I don't know how he got the weapon. I don't know if there'll be someone else involved later along the line that might have supplied the weapon for him. But there could potentially be someone else arrested along with this as they go along with their investigation. The energy I get is that I feel like he thinks, well, my work is done here. So I'm surprised that he didn't take his own life. Because it feels like he feels like it was his duty to God or duty to whatever he stood by for him to take out this evil that was creating so much destruction on the planet. That's how he saw it. You know, he was taking everything that he said and did as personal. He was taking it that he was evil personified. I don't know if there is religious energy around him, but as I say, as soon as I linked into his image in my head and his name, because I think there was an image I saw on TikTok or something. I didn't want to get involved in it, but I think it came up that he was in custody or something. And that's when people started saying about the name Robinson. I thought, oh my God, that's what I brought up. Oh, by the way, it is 1:20 p.m. on Sunday, God, I don't even know what the bloody date is. Alexa, what's the date?
Today is Sunday the 14th of September.
Sunday the 14th of September. I always keep forgetting to say that. Alexa, stop. Oh, she just mentioned seahorses. That's interesting. So, yeah, as I say, it's like the Summer of Sam. It's like there was a voice that was kind of telling him that he needed to do this. I don't feel there'll be reports of him having mental health. I don't feel that there will be reports of him being a nasty person, like, you know, official police reports or anything like that. I just feel that this became a complete obsession. A complete obsession. And he had to eradicate this presence on the planet that he thought was going to create nothing but evil and ill-doing. And with every speech that perhaps Charlie made, it was another poke at him and what he stood for, and it just took him over the edge. And I just feel that troll mentality, you know. I see it a lot. When you see these people write things, you think, God, where are you coming from? There's something really wrong with you. They're just full of hate and rage, and it's just a really awful thing to see and feel when you see it in the posts. And I feel that that's where we are with him. Yeah, I think he just cracked. He just broke, and he was hell-bent on making sure he took him out. There was absolutely no... and also, to a certain extent as well, you know, you can't argue that he was completely exacerbated by mental health, because he was completely aware of what he was doing, because this was pre-planned. This was all planned out, without a doubt. He knew he was going to Utah. He knew that he was coming to that space, and he knew that he felt it was his duty to take out someone that was so against everything he stood for. So, you know, so as I said earlier, sometimes people say, oh yeah, the government were involved and this was la la la. I don't feel any of that. I feel that he was just in a complete rage, ruffle energy, and he knew inside, fueled by this psyche, they had to take him out. That's what I feel at the moment. Right, okay, so I've just heard that potentially the reason he didn't take his own life is perhaps he was going to do somebody else. He was going to plan someone else's demise. Perhaps he had a list of targets that he was going to, he feel that it was his path to take him out. Prayers go to all, Charlie's family and the people that witnessed it, because I know what it's like witnessing Darren's death, and to see that that level of violence. I urge anybody, you know, that knew anybody that was there or was there and watched this, you just go and seek some sort of assistance or support with that, because that is something horrific that you need to get help to eradicate from your memory, because that's just, there's no words. It's just like reminiscent of JFK, and it's just absolutely horrific. But again, I don't feel there's any governmental or conspiracy type energy around this. This is fueled, obsessive, one tunnel visioned. I'm taking this out because he is just evil, whatever. That's what I feel with that. If he feels that he's now incarcerated and can't carry on what other plans he was going to do, then potentially we could see him attempt to take his own life. The thing is, I don't feel he comes from, you know, like a violent or disruptive background. And I reckon as the news unfurls and people find out about him, I bet you most people say he's a nice boy. But when I saw the picture flash up on TikTok, when I was loading one of my videos up, it comes up on the live thing. When you're loading your video, you have to look at the live bit. And you can see the eyes. If you look at any picture of any like serial killer, assassin, whatever it is, you can see that dark shadow in their eyes. I don't think you have to be psychic to see that. Oh, well, we're all psychic, but what I mean is, you don't have to be completely attuned to your ability to see. There's this level of darkness in their eyes, isn't there? They're just like dead. But I don't feel they look like that. Perhaps a couple of years ago. There's something that just tipped him into this, you know, I think he was just seeing all of the stuff bubbling up on comments and things like that to do with this online, and it just completely absorbed him. That's what I feel. And there'll be no remorse. I'll tell you that now. He feels that he's done a duty, that it was meant to happen. You know, I don't know how he was found or how they found out it was him. But again, my also prayers and thoughts go to the family, because I've, you know, been the other side of it as a detective, and you can imagine what the family are going through. If they aren't, I don't feel they are. I don't think they are negative, like, you know, nasty people. Can you imagine the pain they're going through? You know, sometimes people forget about that, and they get vilified as well. They end up getting, you know, the hate and all the rest of it, when they just wouldn't have even known about it. Wouldn't have even known what he was. Of course they wouldn't know, because they mostly would have done something about it. But let's just see if there's anything else. I don't. He must be being held locally, but I don't know if they'll move him. Or keep him, you know, segregated. We call it Rule 43 over here, where certain people that will be exposed to harm by other prison mates, you know, they're sectioned off into a different area of the prison. I reckon he's on watch, because I think he's shown mental health issues, and they think that he's going to do something to himself. So that's what I've picked up on him. Inadvertently, though, he will secure a huge foundation of what Charlie Kirk represented. I don't know what he represented, but inadvertently, what he's done is created something huge now, which I don't think he would have planned to do, but he wouldn't have seen that. Tunnel vision. Okay, so thank you for that, darlings. Can I see who's with me, please? Because I've been hearing you, but I just... Right, Julianus is here. That was little Mila sighing. Just in case you say, did you hear that? That was her sighing, bless her. Still need that globe, Uganda. Uganda. There's hot spots for various things. This feels more... Do you know where I predicted there was a hot spot for a problem with a war environment with Qatar? And then obviously, I think Israel bombed them, didn't they? About a few days later. But there's something going on with Uganda. And this again will be more war, violence, that kind of arena. Uganda. Yeah, can you get me into the energy, please, darling? Yeah, it's just of that ilk, Uganda, as highlighted. Now, as I predicted and have been predicting for a while, the civil unrest is like getting more and more. We had the Tommy Robinson, that surname again, protest in London. This serves as a beginning to even more protest, anti-immigration, collective energy of people saying no more is going to continue. So that wasn't just the end of it. I feel because of how it went and how many people turned up, I feel that other people, other well-known people will join him in his cause, and push this even further. I've been saying this for ages, that there is this element of we've had enough, and it's the same in France. I saw that as well, didn't I? There's like riots and God knows what going on there. I saw Paris and all sorts of things going on and change of leadership. And, you know, particularly in Europe, there just seems to be a no more, we've had enough. And there's this rebellion energy coming in. So I don't know astrologically if we're in fire signs, but it just feels to me like rebellion. We're in this age of rebellion where people are saying no more. So I would say to you, if there are any, this feels like it's escalating. So, you know, be aware that if it's going to be a grand protest, don't take your children, you know, be careful, because I feel that the violence will escalate. There'll be more arrests, and it literally is going to be us against the police. It's going to get emotional. It's going to get... See, I think Mila wants to do a little prediction now. See, I used to think about editing, like, you know, when Mia used to snore, I used to feel like editing it all out. But now I'm like, no, because they're valued. So she's having a little dream, bless her. She's sitting on my lap. Let her dream away while we talk about what's going on the planet. So yeah, this will continue to escalate. So can I just say, just be very careful. Please don't take children to these events. If you are vulnerable or have mobility issues or anything like that, unless it's going to be a small, very peaceful kind of setting, you know, I would avoid the large ones. Potentially we could see, you know, a real serious injury go on at one of these. I feel like I think that there was some violence and it escalated a bit at the London one, you know, but I just want to err on the side of caution. Let the people that are fit and want to go and do it. You know, just watch it from afar. I just got a feeling that there could be someone that ends up really badly injured. I hope not killed, but I'm not liking it, but it's necessary. It is a time of enough's enough. And I'm not, you know, pro-immigration, anti-immigration. I just am totally like Switzerland with that. I'm just telling you what I feel and what is being brought to me from my divine guides and everybody else, okay? It is a time of rebellion, and this will be taking place. We've seen it in Nepal over the weekend as well. And it literally is... Oh, is that the mountainous place I saw? Could have been, yeah. But we are seeing, as has been predicted by many, many psychics, mediums and channelers, the time of rebellion. Choose where you go wisely during these protests, please, okay? Potentially there could be a backlash with the assassination in America as well, so we may get now repercussions of people standing out against whatever, you know. And I remember doing that sorry, I know I'm talking slowly, but I'm seeing so much stuff up there. When I said about gun laws being changed and guns, and I wonder if it's all to do with this as well. Do you remember I said that in a previous video? Yeah. So what are we doing now? Oh, right, so that is supposed to be a doorway next to it with all like a tree and growth around it. And then they've said, do you know your card? So there's, in the energy oracle cards, there's a door, right? And then it's got all plants around it, and then there's a garden beyond it, and it's the abundance card. It's leading to abundance and balance and calm and peace. And so again, there's another feeling that they want to say, they as in, I've got angel energy here, as well as Julianus, because you know I sniff. I always know he's here because I sniff and get itchy nose. And there's a feeling of it has to be done. The foundations of our future. This is why the tree was put next to the door. Thank you. The foundation of our future. We need to establish balance. We need to be heard. We need to not be in a controlled society. People have had enough, you know. First of all, many people part with what they were being told, especially when, you know, we had the COVID issues, and people just had enough. They're seeing the truth. They're seeing the no. We're not having this anymore. And this is all part of the awakening. This is all part of, you know, this new way that we find ourselves going towards. We just got to hang on in there and have faith to know that this is the ultimate shift that we see. Important times in history going on in the next few years. Wild West tumblestones. US? Is this the US? So I can see tumblestones, dry desert. Have you got a problem in the west at the moment with like a lack of? I thought it'd be the opposite. Bearing in mind we're in this age of water and. There could be drought seasons or lack of water or so. All I can see is I'm going to the west, you know, the Wild West. And is it Texas? Not sure. But it's just like I'm seeing dryness and a lack of water, and it will have a problem with the lack of water. But then there's floods as well, isn't there? Perhaps it goes from one to the other. Perhaps we've gone from this horrific water and flooding to nothing. Yeah, that's what I can see. So we'll have to see what happens there. I hope not. Bloody hell. We'll have to see what happens there. New laws around sealing. So this is going to be round, most probably, going to be the Arctic or places where sort of thing happens. But I've just seen seals, and I know that the template with that means that there's some sort of protection laws or something going on about that. Good. Do you know, it really gets on my nerves. I keep seeing John Travolta now. Prism living is a concept that I came up with, or the angels did, to be fair, and the guides. It's a concept that came up when I was laying in bed for those 5 years. If you know my story, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. During that time, I was given so many tools to deal with everything that was going on, from dealing with crisis, dealing with depression, dealing with mental health, dealing with spiritual crisis. Everything that I thought I'd lost, they kind of brought it all back and some. And I decided after a while, do you know what? I need to share this with other people. This will give you the foundations for you to be on a spiritual path. It could take you to psychic development. It can take you to discovering your inner child and you. And lots of people say, I know who I am. Do you? Do you know what you want? Do you know why and how you're living the way you are? If you want to make those changes, this is definitely the course for you. You don't have to be psychic. You don't have to be spiritual. You literally have to have an open heart to be willing to say, I want to change. I want to see what this is all about, and go for it. There are so many brilliant exercises and great things to do to give you everything you need to get yourself on that spiritual world of abundance. You will attract new people in. You will attract new opportunities. You will learn how to manifest. You'll learn how the angels work with you. You'll start noticing the synchronicities and signs that come in the most miraculous ways. These random celebrities I see, and I don't know what it's for. Because I saw Britney Spears, didn't I? And then she came in the news about 3 days later with something about her son. But I thought, is that it? I don't think it is. And I said about Jane Fonda, then she came in the news about being involved in this one night only theatre thing. I'm like, is that it? Is it that frivolous? I don't know. But I've just seen John Travolta now. Just go with it. Perhaps it's just a little light news. I don't know. Epstein, whatever his name is. More revelations of that coming out, which is going to lead to, that's not stopping, that's a continual flow of exposure. It's the exposure train. With Epstein, there's more documents, there's more political leaders involved. More people will be exposed the further they go down the exposure trail. That hasn't stopped yet. That's going to continually expose an underbelly of corruption, secrets. It's going to continue. Watch your space. It's not stopping yet. It's not stopping yet. Poland, Switzerland. I mentioned Switzerland. No, it's okay. It's just a door closing, Myla. I mentioned Switzerland earlier, which is interesting. So Poland, Switzerland, Poland, Switzerland, Poland. Right, so they're taking me back to World War II for Poland. God, so that means that it's the war environment. I'm sure they've already been involved. It's a given, isn't it? We could be seeing more news on more war energy in Poland. Switzerland, I think it's the same as the wars. Switzerland, again, neutral. I don't know why that's been mentioned, Switzerland. But I feel there's going to be more, I don't know, invasions, confrontation, something to do with Poland. I wish they'd just hurry up and get all this shifting done. It's doing my head in. So that's when the wheat will be sorted from the chaff, because there'll be people that come in to support Poland. I still don't feel that we're coming to any major world war, if you know what I mean, at the moment at all. But there's just picking fights and doing this and that. It's just, come on. But again, you know, it's getting rid of who needs to be got rid of. People showing themselves what they are, change. It's unnecessary, it's horrible, but it's obviously all part of some sort of universal plan. Poland. Switzerland. Can I just confirm Switzerland, please? See, I'm going slower now. After I missed that Robinson thing, I'm like, right, hang on a minute. So Switzerland have got the... Let me just check this. Switzerland have got the assisted dying thing there, haven't they? And that's just like a sort of arrow, which is what I perceive as other people will pass this law in other countries. I can't remember where we're at with that. Didn't we have something like this? Did they put it through Parliament? I'm not sure. But, right, okay, hang on. So, yeah, I wonder if there's going to be more law change concerning assisted dying, right? I don't know if there's states in America that allow it or not, but I just feel like it's going to reach out and there's going to be news about that. Also, talking of the word Parliament has triggered off another connection. I think we're closer than ever of Starmer having to step down, be removed, or he'll be going. I've been saying it for ages, and I'm like, when's it happening? When's it happening? But there's a reason for how it's being done. Perhaps it might take other people out along the way, you know, that have been exposed for doing wrong. Yeah, so that's getting closer. He ain't got long in that position, I'll tell you that now. Yes, I'm seeing number 10. I'm seeing the bridge over the river, Big Ben, Parliament. Perhaps that's just me picking up on, was that part of the march on Sunday? Was it last Sunday? Bloody hell, was that a week ago? Or whenever it was, I don't know. Do you know what? I haven't got a clue. So I didn't even know what day or date it was. I knew it was Sunday, because I've got one day before I go to the airport. That's how I know it. It's joking it. People don't realise, I think if people watch me that know, they don't realise that when you have a chronic condition, you might as well live on the moon. Might as well live on the moon, because you just stay in your bubble of rest and pacing, and you know, you don't live normally like other people. People don't see that. Well, you mostly sit in mate, because I'm sitting without my hair brushed, and in my PJs with no makeup on. Yeah, and so it is. Okay. Yeah, interestingly, one of our tribes said that I'd mentioned Portugal. Obviously, there was the Madeleine McCann thing, but also straight after I mentioned Portugal, there was a horrific accident where I think 16 people passed. I'm not sure if it was about that as well, but again, Doomer, Gloomer, I'm the one bringing the bad news. I'm not. I'm showing the reality. Have we got anything good to say, for God's sake? God. Seeing a train. This doesn't feel UK. I hope this is a near miss, or I hope that if there's an accident or an issue with operational things, or you know, the computers or whatever to do with trains or something like that, that there's near misses, or there's something highlighted about computer systems failing or something to do with trains. I hope it just means that they stop on the tracks, or there was near misses, or they, you know, find out that there's a big problem. I don't know if I want to go to France or not. I don't know if it's because there's so much energy emitting from France at the moment concerning all their unrest. It's a hard one, because I'm trying to visualise where it is, but you're trying to visualise train lines around the world. It's a bit hard. Perhaps they're not letting me delve deeper because I'm being rested, which is very frustrating. Let's hope that it's just near misses, or there's a big, you know, worst case scenario, all the trains are cancelled because there's been a huge hacking or breakdown of systems that run the trains. Let's just hope it's that, please. All right, okay. Yeah, they're just the train tracks. Okay. Oh, electricity failure. Now, I know that I predicted that there was going to be a hacking of a huge commercial system. And there was, wasn't there? I can't remember what it was now. I think it might be another one. This could bring about lack of electricity, lack of internet. Yes, people keep talking about the 3 days of darkness, but it's not like, you know, the sun disappears and vampires come out. It's about lack of provision. Do you know what? I get this sense of, right? It's like with this siren thing that the UK were given. You know, oh, it's for your safety, and I just think that they're trying out things to see when they can switch things on and off. I don't know. There's just something going on there, and I just feel like there's this weird thing going on where perhaps we will get half of the country shut down or something. I don't know, and it's just them trial and error, but they'll put it down to hacking, or they'll put it down to a satellite system that's gone wrong, like I predicted with Elon Musk's Starlink. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, there's going to be a few things like that. Perhaps it's just to continue the fear value, you know, to incorporate this control, because they know they're losing that control. Do you know what I mean? That's a gas tank I've just drawn, which is really not that great. That's supposed to be a gas tank. Yeah, so this is natural gas. You know, I know that our beautiful cousins in the States call gas petroleum. Called petroleum gas, but this is gas supply. It seems a lack of, or an issue with supply of gas as opposed to an explosion, if that makes sense. That feels UK based. Yeah, some issue around natural gas or something. See what happens with that. Shipping. It's Julianus. Why do we have to worry of such frivolous matters? Because humans want to know about it. Because we're on a human experience, and these things are important, Julianus. That's why I'm asking, please. I think he likes it when he's doing his channeling and philosophy, but this stuff, I feel he gets a bit frustrated with. By all means, hand it over to the angel energy. Angel's already here, so obviously I'm getting some influence from, I'll say Gabriel, because I keep seeing gold and blue flashes. Shipping, freights, shipping. This is to do with, I can see the large crates loaded onto a ship and off a ship. Trading. What country is this with? Oh God, so that's the States again. So is Trump going to continue mucking around with tariffs and shipping regs that makes it exceptionally difficult for other countries? Is this going to continue? Yes, I think it is. It may already be. I know that there's some issues with tariffs, but I've just got a feeling something else, it's going to create a bit of a backlash and people are going to get the ump with it. So we need to take a step back on that, please, Mr. Trump, because there is definitely issues. I'm seeing the huge ships carrying all the cargo and it's just stopping before it gets to the quay. So there's going to continually to be some sort of problem with that, or it's going to be escalated. Oh, happy days. Yeah, look, it's not the greatest picture. That's the ship on the water and it's not at the quay, and they've written US up there. So unfortunately, I think you're going to be a bit frustrated for a little while, my darlings, over there, because these stupid tariffs. I don't know if it adds duty on or there's duties. I really don't understand it. Shocker. But it's just a change about has got to happen there. And I feel it will eventually. I feel it will, because it's voters we need, and voters are not happy with the fact that there is continuous reinvention of the wheel concerning shipping, tariffs and duties and all that kind of stuff. Where was that flash you just showed me then? Missed it. Is it former Yugoslavia? I missed the energy of it. It's really weird because you've got to jump on it and embrace it before it passes. Former Yugoslavia. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm trying to get good stuff. Civil unrest there for some reason. I told you all of this though, last year. The year before. I've lost count since Darren's gone home. About the fact that there'll be civil unrest, leaders overturned, leaders changed, because we're getting it right and we need to go through this. Former Yugoslavia, it's a hot point. That's all I can say on that matter. I'm feeling happy with the Australians, so hurrah! It's about bloody time. It's to do with finance or stability. So there must be some good news or something that has created a lot more stability for financial foundations for the citizens of Australia. There seems to be an upward turn in some sort of money trend or interest or housing, because I feel positive over there. Thank God for that. Throw me a bone. Let me know. You must let me know in the comments below, darling, because I literally, lovely Faye, she goes through all your comments. I obviously do as well. We go through your comments and she notes for me all of the feedback, because I will not go searching for it on the nose, okay? So please, it's so valuable you do that. Thank you so much, because you literally show the predictions coming true, which is vital, isn't it? It's not vital, but it's nice to, you know, I could say the sky's going to turn purple tomorrow, but, you know, I could say anything, but the fact that then it happens just validates the true connection to the divine, you know, and what else I have to say to you. And that's an electricity pylon. It's definitely something going to happen with, like, first was gas, but there's like electricity. It's a really crap photo as well. It's like, that's electricity pylons, isn't it? Let's keep an eye out for that. It's like, do you know in movies where you see like the whole of Manhattan go doo, and they like lose their electricity, and if it goes dark, it just feels like that. So it'll be a city, it'll be somewhere busy, it'll happen. God, stuff I see, so random. So I'm seeing lettuce and there's a bug on it. And they're showing me chemicals to kill the bugs. Chemicals to kill. Okay, so could be a new breakthrough in how to eliminate bugs on growing greens without using chemicals. Oh, that's going to happen. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Food source that hasn't got crap on it. Is that right? Oh, Julianus. Oh no, that'd be good. Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot going on in the background about how we're going to be maintaining our arable farms, how we're going to be able to maintain our food staying as clean as it possibly can be, because now obviously the soil's damaged, and you know, the animals that eat the grass that comes from the soil that's full of fertilizers and God knows what. It's just it all needs a massive change around as well on that as well. So I feel that there is some breakthrough to do with crop maintenance, crop protection without using chemicals. I've got no idea what it'll be, but that's come up, so that's lovely. Is Uganda in Africa? It's just seen beautiful African people, and again, aid, food, medicine, water. I don't know if that's connected to Uganda or not. African based. I hope this doesn't mean that there's going to be some disaster where there's loads of people needing the aid, or there'll be news of some sort of aid going into an African country. Possibly it is Uganda. Is Uganda in? God. See, this is when I need my ball, isn't it? My globe. So there's that. There's something in Africa, but there's also then even more medical aid going into Gaza. I don't know if another country's going to get involved in that or not, because of malnutrition again. There is some hopeful energy there in respect of aid, care, relocation. More help is on its way. Higher spring tides in the oceans. So places where the spring tide rises are going to be higher, but it's not catastrophic. It just be noticeable that the energy of the sea is changing. We've already looked at the remigrations, unusual animals, beaching, flooding, but this is like higher spring tides. Yep. So there's algae, seaweed, higher proportions of algae and seaweed, and quite a big level actually. There's a lot of it. Don't know if we're going over to the Caribbean. That's one of them. It's a good thing though, isn't it? Lots of healthy seaweed. I can't remember. Not good for people who want to swim in it, I suppose. Caribbean. What's down the bottom there? I know that Mexico had issues with it a few years ago. I don't know if it's still ongoing or not. This seems like an influx of green coming in. Oh, that's good. So hang on a minute, wait. It's a sea kelp. There's going to be a huge rise in the benefits of sea kelp and seaweed also, which is good. So that's going to be another, that mostly be a trending health holistic supplement approach, right, on that, for beauty as well. See it on my skin. So that's coming up, but also, where else is it coming? Where else is it hitting the... So that's the west, is that California? Oh my God, do I need a globe? Could be around down Hawaii. Possibly Florida. It just feels down that way. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Let me know if you get any news reports or you know that there's a lot more seaweed and sea kelp coming in. Or perhaps it's even that, you know, they find a way to farm it really organically and that it's, you know, turns into a really big trending thing to eat or use, you know. Everything's sent to us for a reason, darlings. You cut me off. They're cutting me off, darlings. They're cutting me off. I knew they would. I've got too much to do. And they are holding my energy. One of the best conventions on the planet. So I hope you enjoyed that, darling. Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below if and when this all takes place and makes sense, because you are the key to all these predictions and the shorts that come out subsequently to show that the angel realms and my guides and my intuition was right. And I can feel my throat actually going. So I'm going to bid you farewell. And thank you so much for your loving support. I cannot wait. If this is mostly goes out while I'm at GSIC, actually. But if there's any of you going, I cannot wait to see you. And I'll give you a shout out, obviously, if you're coming on the live stream. And I shall see you when I get back. But for the time being, God bless you all. Love you all. Keep positive. As I keep saying, this is just a transition. The other side is going to be momentous. Until the next time, I'll speak to you again very soon. God bless. This is hilarious. Just when you thought it was the end of the video. No, it's not. I normally have a spirit person come in, don't I? And this lovely, lovely man, he's so polite and so lovely. And he said, I'm really sorry. I've just literally sat down after finishing my tarot video. And he said, I'm really sorry, but would you mind? I really want to speak to my daughter. And I'm like, oh, how can I not? How can I not? Bless him. So here we go. This is your beautiful dad that's come through. Please email in with photographs if you've got them, or let me know if this is your dad. Okay? Right, so I'm going to let him in fully. He is, I bet he was a real good looker when he was younger. He's got really nice tan skin. I don't know if there is an element of perhaps Mediterranean in there at some point, but the blue eyes, though, he's got blue eyes or light eyes. And his hair was really white, but it looked really good on him. Very handsome man, I'll tell you that now. And photographs of him earlier on, he would have been like James Deany or something. Really good head of hair and really good looking. Potentially could have even been on a bike. Perhaps that's why I'm being shown that. Or the name James, I'm not sure at the moment. Or Jim. But he was really good looking, but very handsome in his older age as well. Nice height as well. He's not a short man at all. Very well presented. Very well presented. He, by the looks of it, it feels like he was quite healthy most of his life. And I think he's in his early 70s or late 60s, but he looked younger, you see, because he looks younger than his age. But then I think he did age considerably during this very short illness. This is like a very quick diagnosis that takes him downhill really quickly. So this is, I feel like he's going to his lung area. So it's either like COPD or a cancer condition, but also it affected his heart. And so he's very, very poorly, but it was a very quick progression down to him passing over to the spirit world. Mary has been mentioned, so I got a feeling that this is maybe who met him, or this might be his mum or someone up in the spirit world, which is really chuffed to have been reunited with. Okay. I don't know if there was always cats in the family. I can see kittens, unless you've got them now, or he's just saying all of the cats are up here, because I can just see cats. I can just see cats. It's mentioned in the zoo as well. So I don't know if someone ever worked at the zoo, or you live near the zoo, or he did, or there's a memory of going to the zoo. But he's bringing that in as well. Show me. It's mentioned the month of February. Potentially this could be to do with him. This either passing or time of diagnosis or something like that. But February's being brought up. They're showing me February the 5th. So either that makes sense to you, as in Julianus and Catherine. Either that was the day that my dad passed, February the 5th. So I don't know if they're just saying that to say it's a passing month or not, or the 5th is relevant. But David is also relevant. But he's acknowledging that, okay? He's really nicely spoken, very polite man. If you knew him in the, in the neighbourhood, he's just a really lovely, pleasant man. I didn't see him angry a lot. He's got a really calm energy about him and quite a good sense of humour. He would get on with anybody. He was a really easygoing man. He really was. Reminds me of Darren to a certain extent. But he's like a slim, medium-built man. He's not like a really giant, bloke. He's tall, but he's got this nice slimness to him. There could be a photograph of him wearing pale blue, because he's wearing pale blue at the moment, a pale blue shirt. There also could be your name, or a name down here could be Debbie. There's a lot of girls around him, so I don't know if he's just got daughters or there were girls around him when he passed, but I feel very feminine presence around him. And likewise, I feel that with him going up. So I don't know if he was the only boy in his family, or there's loads of aunties, or, but I feel very real feminine presence around him, both down here and up there. I think he's been spoilt rotten up there, bless him. I can see like a woodland. I don't know if it's a golf green. So I don't know if he played golf, or there's a golf green near you, or it's just a huge green and there's loads of woodlands around it. It reminds me of Belfairs Park in Essex. It reminds me of that kind of environment. Very patriotic. I can see a flag, but rather frustrating now. I can't see what. Yeah, no, sod it. It's gone. The vision's gone. It was. I wanted to see if there was a flag that would say where he's from. I think you had quite a lot of land, or something's going on there, because there's a lot of greenery. I wonder if he's from the US. I'm not sure. But it's like England, the American-y. I'm sure David makes sense. Brown. Just popped in my head. I don't know if it's like a surname or the name of a place. He loved a good, sensible talk. He didn't like frivolous stuff. He really liked to get in depth with matters of, the world, economics, things like that. Very, very intelligent man. His eyes are so sparkly. I don't know if he, he kind of really did get very poorly very quickly, but he looks bright and sparkly, and his skin is almost, you know, luminous. He's just so well in this spirit form that I find that I see him in now. I'm sure one of his girls is a brunette, wavy brunette hair, because he keeps showing me this lovely shapely lady with brunette hair. He adores his family. He was a real family man. he's got a lovely sense of. He goes, I think you're painting me far too nice. I said, well, no, that's what you're giving to me at the moment. You know, we're not all saints, but the main things that people would describe you as, this is what I'm seeing coming through now. He's showing me witches and Halloween. So again, perhaps there's a relevance around that date or October. I think it's Salem. I'm just checking. I don't think it is a geographical thing. I think it's more date that could be relevant, like a birthday, anniversary, something like that. I can hear the music Last Waltz with You, which is, I think it was Engelbert Humperdinck, wasn't it? Can I hear that playing? Hummingbird. Hummingbird's relevant. So I don't know if you see it or you've got hummingbirds ornament, or you'll see one and it's a sign from him. But the hummingbird has just come into my energy. You're very welcome, darling. I'm going to leave it at that because he could sit here for hours and I'm aware of my energy. It's never enough, is it? It's never enough, but he's exceptionally well. What's your message, darling? Brian. This is B-R-N name. Brian, Breen. There's that name. I feel that he just wants to acknowledge. I don't know if he's a recent passion, because he's given that I'm okay, I'm well, don't worry kind of feeling. That's normally either a first connection to someone, or it's just acknowledging I'm safe, I'm well, I'm surrounded by the people I loved and missed, I am happy, and I want you to be. Whatever changes you need to make to get you happy, do it. Don't worry about what could or couldn't happen. Please just go for what makes you happy, because it will be the right choice, even if you have to make a few sacrifices. Okay? Please take this. He's lovely, 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 lovely man. And I'm so glad that I gave him some time to come in. He's been so polite. He didn't push in, obviously, during my predictions. And he was very polite. Just said, oh, would you mind, please? And I'm like, of course, darling. Absolutely lovely man. Smells of like pine and like soap. Really lovely, fresh smell. So please let me know if this is your dad. So pleased to have brought him through, and I look forward to your responses to see where you are and that you get this message. I'm so blessed. So this is definitely a goodbye. Speak to you on the next one. Take care.